companies have a lot of decisions to make with fixed assets as well. So incremental analysis can help with those decisions. So let's talk about a piece of equipment, say, that you have. Okay, let's talk about equipment. And let's say, scratchy writing, sorry. Let's say that you purchased a piece of equipment and you purchased it for $100,000. Okay? And let's say that was, you did that, say, January 1, 2013. Had a life of 4 years, and it had no salvage estimated, no disposal value. All right, when you bought it, we used straight line depreciation to calculate depreciation on this. Okay, and you have, with assets like this, you're going to have maintenance and repairs and different operating costs. So let's say that your annual operating costs, in parentheses, this is annual, so this is yearly, or equal to $105,000. Okay, so there's all the information about our original piece of equipment that we purchased. So let's say it's been a year now, and we've decided that we're looking at possibly replacing this. Again, we haven't fully depreciated. It still is in use. It's not torn up. It's not damaged. Nothing's wrong with it. But let's say that there's just some newer, better, faster, more wonderful piece of equipment out on the market that does the same function as this, but supposedly it's better, it's more efficient, and it might save us some money in these operating costs. So we're considering it. Again, the whole point of an incremental analysis. So let's say that we're looking at replacing it. So some new equipment. And let's look at some information with the new equipment. All right. So let's say that we're looking, and supposedly this new equipment will save us in those operating costs. Let's say it will save us $30,000, again, annually. All right, so supposedly each year it's going to save me $30,000. Let's say that it has a 3-year useful life. And that's kind of important too, because if the lives were different, we'd need to consider that as well. But this has 3 years left. This would have a 3-year life, so they're on equal, comparable grounds. Okay? So let's say that our cost, because we're going to have to buy it, right? We could lease it, but let's say it's a purchase. So it's going to cost us $110,000, okay? And let's say that this also has no salvage or disposable value at the end, because that would come into play, okay, in our consideration. And let's say that if we buy the new equipment, we can sell the old equipment. And let's say that we look at the market and we can get $40,000 for the old equipment. Okay? All right, there's all the information we need to make our decision. Now, again, don't get confused. Think about this in real life, okay? You have a piece of equipment. You're looking at purchasing a new piece of equipment. What might be some things that you consider? Well, okay. Now, here's one that I guess can be a little more tricky than the others, because some things you would probably consider are not things that we want to consider in a business setting, and actually that you shouldn't consider in real life, but it's a little different. Let's talk about something called a sunk cost. Okay, a sunk cost is something that's already been paid. You're not going to get it back. It needs to stay in the past because it is sunk. It's already happened. I'll give you a real life example. Let's say, I'll give you 2 examples I can think of. Okay, let's say that you're on a road trip and you're going somewhere and you stop at a gas station, fill up the car, go inside, get a snack, and let's say there's something new, a new candy bar or a new drink, or what is it? Mountain Dew comes out with like a new drink every 5 seconds, right? New flavor. So, new Mountain Dew maybe. New flavor of potato chips. So you grab one of these new items, okay, not your normal snack fare, and you get back in the car, you keep, start driving, head down the road, okay, get your snack settled, open, get the radio back on. Well, whatever this new item is, you try, it's not good, at least not to you. You don't like it at all. I mean, it's bad. It's bad. So the question is, your incremental analysis is, do you continue to consume this product, eat/drink, or do you throw it away or leave it, in the cup holder, the seat, and, trash it when you get out of the next stop? Well, some of you would say, what? Well, I paid for it, so I'm going to eat it or drink it, right? Some of you would say, well, no, I mean, if it's horrible, why would I continue to consume the product? Okay? It shouldn't matter. Whatever the money was, let's say the $5 you paid for this snack, okay, or $1 or however much it was, that's gone. You're not getting it back. Okay? Barring that the company has some refund your money if you don't love our product, clause, that $5 is not coming back. So you don't need to consider the $5 because it's a sunk cost. Same thing, let's consider it with, I always like to use the example of going to the movie theaters too as for sunk cost. Okay, you go to the movie theater, and it was you thought this was going to be a really funny comedy and, nice lighthearted movie, and you get into it and it's not funny. And it's kind of, I don't know, it's sad, and it's not anything what you expected. It was just, yeah, it's not good. Or maybe it was the right genre, but it just wasn't good. It didn't turn out right. Okay, again, some movie theaters will give you your money back if you don't, like the movie. But let's say, no, you've paid your, $20,000, no, I'm just kidding, to get into the movies and the same amount in popcorn. You took out a small home equity line of credit to buy concessions there, snacks. But you're in the movie theater. You've paid your ticket, you've got your popcorn, you're sitting there. So do you continue to watch the movie? Let's say you've watched half of it. It's not getting better. It's just not good. Well, I know a lot of you are probably saying, yeah, I paid the money. I'm sitting there. I'm going to stay there and finish it out. Some of you might hold out hope that it will get better, okay? But you're wasting your time, maybe, kind of. You could be doing other things, right? So the consideration is, do I sit here and continue this, or do I get up and leave and go do something else, okay? The money you paid for the ticket is a sunk cost. You shouldn't consider it because it's gone. It's not coming back. And I say all that to kind of get in your head. But the sunk cost here, a lot of people would say, okay, we bought this piece of equipment. It cost me $100,000, right? And it had, what did we have? We said we had a 4-year life, okay? So right now, let's say it's been exactly 1 year. It had no salvage value. We're going to depreciate $25,000 off a year. So what's my book value right now? Everybody should know this, right? You remember what book value is, okay? We've got a $75,000 book value, right? So if we're going to sell the old for $40,000, okay, if we're considering replacing it, well, we got a $75,000, $40,000. So, that's looking, we're getting a loss there, right? $35,000 loss. You don't consider that. You do not consider the book value when you look at incremental analysis for equipment or capital assets like this, fixed assets. Because the book value is a sunk cost. We don't need to consider it. Okay? So we're not going to take into consideration book value. No, we'll take into consideration this $40,000, but we're not going to take into consideration the book value because we already paid the $100. It's gone. It's not coming back. Okay? So that is a sunk cost. Don't put it in your analysis. Alright? So that one might seem a little strange, but again, it's a sunk cost. We can't do anything about it. So you just, cut losses, move forward. That kind of a thought process. So let's look at our two options. We could keep, I'm just going to label these keep, or we could replace our equipment. Okay? There's the two options. Okay. Well, the first thing that we mentioned in the news, so let's talk about that. It says, well, you can save an operating cost. All right. Well, let's look at the operating cost then. So if we keep the old piece of equipment or our existing piece of equipment, all right, we had operating costs of $105,000 annually. Now that was annually. I want to compare this for the remainder of the life, or if this was uncomparable, we'd have to put it on equal year footing, okay? But it says you can save $105,000 for the next 3 years on this because we've got 3 years left on the life. So how much is that going to be in total? Well, that means that we're going to have $315,000 in operating costs in total for the rest of this piece of equipment's life. Well, if we replace it, it says that's going to save me $30,000 annually. So that means that I'm going to pay $90,000 less than this in total. Okay, I'm going to save $30,000 a year. So, instead of having $105,000 a year, I'm going to have $75,000 a year. Okay, or again, this minus $90,000. Either way you want to do it, you still should come up with, this is going to be $225,000. Okay, for the new piece, because if we replace it, we're going to have the new one. All right, and let's go ahead. We'll put, again, you can put differential or incremental profit or loss. You can put net income increase or decrease. It doesn't matter. Either one. Same thing. So the new, if we replace, is going to save me money. So we're going to increase net income by $90,000 if we replace it, if we're just talking about operating costs. Okay, so that's one thing to consider. What else will we consider in this decision? Okay, and it doesn't matter. You can get them out of order. There's no particular order to this. But the other thing I like to consider is, well, if we're going to replace it, what else happens? We're going to save in operating costs, but we have to buy it. So we're going to have to purchase equipment. So what was the purchase price? It was $110,000. All right, that's not going to be considered under keep because we're not going to be buying anything. But if we purchase equipment, that's going to decrease net income, okay? Because it's a cost. We have to purchase it. And then there's only one other thing to consider. Do not consider book value. Do not put a gain or loss on the sale of equipment because we're not going to consider those things. The only other thing I want to consider is I will get $40,000 for the old piece. So when we sell, I'm just going to put sell old equipment. You don't know what that means. Okay? Again, we wouldn't do that if we keep it. So if we sell it, we're going to get $40,000 for this. Okay? So that's a positive 40,000 income over here. That would increase it. Okay then. All right. So now this looks a little strange. How should we do this? These two are costs. So I guess we could put these. Let's put these in. Again, don't get confused by this, but this one is an increase as a positive. So regardless, these two should be handled differently than this one. Whether you put the parentheses around those or around just this one, it doesn't matter, but they should be handled differently. So overall, we've got $315,000 in costs here, and if so, you could put, you can do this kind of number if you're going to do that. So this would be a cost figure. Okay, these are both costs. That's not. So overall here, you've got a cost of $295,000. And then here you've increased net income for the savings, you've decreased for the cost of this, and then you increased it when you sold the old piece of equipment. So overall here you've got an increase to net income of $20,000. So it would benefit you to go ahead and replace that piece of equipment.